I don't consider the baby this type of artist, but like like nah, actually nah, but like still like uh,
All right, welcome guests. This is Behind the Red, and I'm your host, Tim Gaines. And we have the utmost wonderful producer of the year, Levent2x, right in front of me.
thank you. It's
Give us a
good. It's
round of
good.
applause. Nice to have you on the show.
Yeah, thanks for having me. It's a pleasure.
Yes, sir. How you feeling today?
I'm doing pretty good. How about yourself?
Pretty good, pretty good.
Oh yeah, feeling amazing.
Yes, sir. So we have you. You're from. You're representing Ohio, correct?
Yeah, I'd say so. I work with a lot of Cleveland artists though, but like Cleveland, I would say Northeast Ohio more so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got you. Got you. So your main role is producing, engineering. Tell us about yourself.
Yeah, I do producing and engineering, but I feel like honestly, like nowadays to be able to like really gain traction, you have to be like doing several things at once, including marketing,
Right.
branding yourself effectively, learning like which way, honestly, just managing yourself as a business,
Yeah.
you know, altogether.
Because everyone knows like the music industry has its artistic sides, but there's the business side that that kind of gets a lot of artists in the long run. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely, for
Yeah.
sure.
So you producer, marketer, engineer, all the full nine yards.
Yeah.
So tell us your origin story. So what really got you into the music scene, producing in general?
Well, I would say I started doing music when I started middle school. There was
Word.
like a school band. So my parents made me play the clarinet. I wanted to play the saxophone, but
Word, Squidward.
yeah. So yeah, I spent 8 years, in bands. Like I did marching band. I did like symphonic band. I honestly did not like marching band though.
Word.
I just didn't like the culture out there. But honestly, it contributed to my growth and like my current like I guess musical abilities. But honestly, I would attribute Vine more so to that. I was on Vine finding a lot of like music, and I feel like that inspired my taste. That like made me want to like
Vine?
yeah,
Really?
yeah.
Okay.
Like they had these they had like anime videos, right, that they like edited with like super cool songs. I was
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
dude, what's this song? And like there used to be this thing where like the people who made them wouldn't want to like say what the song was out of fear that it'd get overused online.
Word.
So like you just see like five different people like, yo, what song is this? Hey, what's this song? And I used to be spamming people and they like delete like comments and like
Really?
all that. But like I don't know, I felt like it was like cultural like stewardship in a way. I was like, man, these songs need to be heard. So like I go on SoundCloud and I make playlists, and then I'd also try to like reach out to people like, hey, if you like that song, you might like my playlist.
Word.
Just like purely out of love.
So originally you were kind of just like adding songs on a playlist. You weren't like producing or like making anything yet, like making beats or anything.
No, at the time I didn't have like any kind of like software. Like
Yeah.
I tried like GarageBand. I feel like everyone like has access to GarageBand.
Yeah.
But,
You just
like,
need a MacBook,
yeah, it personally like it wasn't really like easy for me to use, or like I wasn't able to translate my ideas the
Word.
best on that software. So like once I got FL Studio, that was like the main. I guess it was the main software I've used since.
Yeah. But tell us a little the background story about the FL Studios, how you got it.
Yeah, so at the time I was like talking to this one shorty, and she was like tripping up, and I was in this class called like cultural history, or like origins of humans or something.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
Like, but I ended up turning to my right, and I just like I guess clearly fed up with whatever was going through my mind at the time. I really don't like remember too clearly, but I just ended up talking to this one dude, and just that conversation turned into him just being like, yeah, I can put FL Studio on your laptop.
Word.
And this was like the last 2-3 weeks of the semester, and I was about to go out to like Turkey to visit my family. So like I spent that whole summer like just practicing and like sending like beats to like my friends. Like I also met my current roommate, third.
Yeah,
And that's I spent like I was trying to send him beats, but I was like, dude, why isn't he like responding to me? And apparently he like broke his phone that whole summer.
Word.
So like when I got back, he was like, yo, you trying to go to the studio sometime? I was like, yeah, for sure.
When you get back from Turkey?
What's up?
When you got back from Turkey? Or
Yeah,
when you,
it was like that was like my sophomore year, I think.
And like during the whole summer in Turkey, you were like cooking up the whole summer?
Yeah, I was trying to like learn. It was I wasn't the best then, but like
I mean, that's the beginning stages, you know what I mean? It's the the humble part.
Mm.
Okay. So coming from, what year was that, would you say?
Like 2017.
2017.
2016, 2017.
So from that time, from that summer till this summer, what areas did you say you progressed the most in, or like what do you say you've grown the most, or what are you happy to see that you've like accomplished during this this journey?
I'm happy first and foremost that I'm able to like pay forward, I guess, helping advance other artists as well. Like that story that like I just told you, where like, you know, my friend Griff, you know, who like put FL Studio on my laptop, like that was just in like the library on my college campus.
Yeah.
So like, I guess like I try to put that energy back whenever I can. Like, you know, if I catch like an artist, I'll be like, yo, like here's like a logo. If I work with him or something, or like, I guess like minor advice on like, you know, how you should like, I guess, direct your brand or like go the next stages. You know, try to put people on like early, so like they don't like they save their time, you know, when it comes to like trying to like become an artist. Yeah,
like seeing like the steps that like, you know, if you were in their position, you would do this, or just like giving them that little like pay it forward.
Yeah,
you know.
Sure.
Okay. So like you mentioned, like Third is your roommate, Third World, or just Third now? Third.
That's his Instagram.
Okay.
Third World, guys.
Got you. My bad. You know how like we just associate people's IGs with their actual name now, or like, you know, like what people call them. But so since he's your roommate, how long you guys been rooming together?
I'd say coming up on 4 years now.
Oh damn! So this is a journey. This is all of college, literally.
3 to 4 years.
Word.
So that just started by like every Friday we'd go to the studio, pretty much. Like I pick him up and like we'd go to Cleveland to record at like Invasion. No, it wasn't Invasion at the time. It was Wave Studios.
Word.
But yeah, like after that we were just like, all right, we should move in. We should get an apartment. We can lock in. You know, start working on more music. And yeah.
Okay.
It's been going well.
So you guys are still currently roommates. How often do you guys like cook up like together? I always wonder that. You know, you guys live in the studio, you know what I mean?
There is always like music happening. There is always something being made, whether it's like me or you know, Third or Sad Beats. Sad Beats is also like a really frequent collaborator.
Word.
We're all in Undercover Fiends together.
Okay.
So we all hang out all the time, and it's cool because it's a very like organic environment. I'd say we don't really spend too much time like when we're chilling. We're literally just like, yo, can I make a beat? Or like having a conversation while making a beat. It's just, you know, it's
everyone's on the same page. I feel that. Homies that grind together stay together.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I feel that. So since you guys all make music together, you said Undercover Fiends.
Yeah.
Is like this is what like the group, I assume, like what it's a group of, okay.
It's like a collective.
Gotcha. So what is like the sound for Undercover Fiends? Like, what would you describe it as?
Undercover Fiends, the sounds. It's a very good question. I'd say like future. Like I'd say what I try to achieve with my production and like my contribution to music is like trying to achieve the next level of music. And I would say like there's a lot of like hip hop pop fusion going on right now, and like that is like that's a very common theme in our music. But also like we're pretty versatile, you know. Like we make R&B songs, dancehall songs, Latin pop, if that's like a subgenre. Yeah, you know, we try to like switch it up.
Okay,
for sure.
Well, let me throw the subject around a little bit.
Yeah.
So I know that, you know, Los Angeles is the key for making stuff happen in the music industry, and you're going on a trip there next week or in a few days. One of the two.
Yeah, I'm going on my first trip on 7 days from now. No,
okay.
Actually, no, 4 days.
4 days from now.
Yeah, 12.
Gotcha. It's going to be your first time in LA.
Yeah. I'm excited.
What's the plan out there, man?
So, my friends and I got an Airbnb.
Okay.
So it's going to be me, Third, this artist Jethro, Sad Beats, and then 3 other artists who I really don't know, but we're gonna be out there, just like kind of chilling, creating like I guess getting together like a creative work environment where we're like we can kind of just take in new energy, but also the network.
Gotcha.
For sure.
Okay. Have you like reached out to anyone yet? Like before reaching down there, you're kind of gonna go out there and wing it.
We're like looking into studios right now. Like something I want to do is like visit studios over there.
There's a lot. There's a lot.
There are
a lot of connects.
Like,
a lot of connects.
Yeah. So like get in and just be like, hey, do you mind if I can like sit in on a session, or like I'd even like slide bread to like try to do that. So that's something I want to try and do. But I'm also taking like my own recording equipment out there. So like I'll also be like doing some engineering production out there.
The mobile studio on wheels, literally.
For sure, yeah.
Word. I feel that. So bringing back with the music, so you've been in the music world for a while, since middle school, and you are from Turkey.
Yeah.
Where in Turkey specifically?
I was born in Istanbul, Turkey.
Istanbul. Okay, got you. Does that have any influence on like the way you like view music or the way you listen and like produce?
I'd say so. Every time I go back to Turkey, like for example, like summer vacation to visit my grandparents, my mom's side, my grandparents on my mom's side, they live in like this vacation town, and there's this amusement park that's like literally in the middle of everything. It's like it's within eye view, pretty much everywhere. Okay. And they always blast music. And the music is out there is always like EDM, EDM-y and like more like just like European pop stuff like that, dance hall as well. So like hearing those like growing up, I used to be like so frustrated. I was like, dude, this is like just so generic. Like,
yeah.
But like now I understand. I'm like, these are just like rhythms to get people moving. Whether or not where it's from. But I'd say so. I'd say there are like a lot of Turkish songs I realized that like. As a kid, I was just like, just got stuck in my head. I just go around my house just like singing them at the top of my lungs. So yeah, I'd definitely say so.
Okay. Okay, so this is what I've been wanting to ask. So Levent2x. This is a new brand, like the rebrand.
Yeah. So
is there a reason behind it? Like, what's the whole idea? Give me the rundown.
So
and like the whole before aspect, because before was, am I allowed to say it?
Yeah.
Lucio Grand, correct?
Lucio Grand, yeah, for sure. So originally, my very first producer alias was Levent Beats, and the reason I wanted to go with an alias was because I thought later if I went into like a more professional role, that they'd be like, "What are you doing?" Yeah. But now I'm just like I'm making beats. Like a lot of the stuff I do is pretty appropriate. So from there, I transitioned to Lucio Grand. Still wanted something that was like at the time, I guess not my name, but something that still had like a very like designer type of like feel when you hear it, or like that type of presence. But ultimately, I decided that like I've always been a fan of my own name, and like if so I really wanted to use it, and it's always been my plan to eventually use my own name. I think now it's just like I'm fully making that commitment.
Got you. Like branding yourself, you know what I mean? Like you're literally putting your name on it,
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. What future steps, like is there going to be a difference between Levent2x and Lucio Grand?
Yeah, I mean, I'm always trying to grow. I'm always trying to evolve my sound.
Like an alter ego, or is what I mean?
Alter ego?
Like
that.
What is it, the caterpillar coming out the cocoon?
Yeah, definitely, I'd say so.
Okay.
Well, I mean, like, that's my goal. Like, I feel like anyone who wants to like eventually like achieve great success is trying to like achieve like really fully unleash their personality and wear their personality on themselves. That's my goal.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Gotta let the music flow through you.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. Well, I know you're a talented producer. Honestly, one of my favorite people to be in the studio with. I've been in a decent amount of studios, and let me tell you, you know what you're doing. You know what I'm saying?
I appreciate it. Thank you.
And in my opinion, you're like one of the best engineers in Ohio. You know what I mean? Definitely in Northeast Ohio. And I know there's a lot of talent over here. So what are like some of your top artists that you want to work with that you haven't worked with yet?
In the area?
In the area. Actually, like, or in the state, per se.
In the state?
No, give me the area. Let's start with the area first. Right. Give me the
in the area, I'd say like local artists. I work with Third a lot already, but I would say The Invasion has a lot of artists over there. Sony Lonzel, Adi Ray's pretty cool. I
Okay.
like Freshie. Freshie's fire.
Yeah.
And then
Different sound.
yeah, but like other than that, let me see. Young Air. Young Air is also really cool.
Okay.
Yeah, these are all like artists that like I would say like our collective already works with. Like we're already like pretty like well tapped in
For sure.
with like the Cleveland music scene.
Yeah.
But like artists that I'm really trying to work with, like in Ohio, I would say like if I could work with like Trippie Redd, that'd be fire. Or like Kid Cudi, just cause if I could work with Kid Cudi,
the goats, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
come
for
on,
sure.
I respect that. Who wouldn't? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Who wouldn't?
definitely.
Okay. So you've worked with, I mean, you've had numerous studio sessions. You literally live in the studio. You know what I mean? So I always love asking these kind of questions. And what is your most unforgettable studio session? Good or bad, or just like
Invasion, and they had these things called these Invasion sessions. So it was like one day a week. They're like I think 2-hour slots, but they're back to back. But it's also like a combined social session because it's like one artist gets this slot, another artist gets this slot, another artist gets this slot, but they're all kicking in the studio at the same time. So like some people like it because it's a lot of people just vibing at the same time. Other people are like, I'd rather have my own secluded personal time. But it was like, I guess it was like a bonus because like it's like discounted, but like it was a good vibe. But like I do those, and this one session with Young Air, like it was my first time tracking them out, and the song was just like so fire. Like it just made all of us dance. Like the song was just like good energy.
Word.
It was Galaxy by Young Air.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's officially out, released? It's released? Okay, got you. All right. So I see why you want to work with them again. I feel you.
Yeah, like just the process is like really fun, I'd say. Just being able to like work with artists and like build songs. It's like putting together a puzzle.
Got you. And you said that was at Invasion?
Yeah.
And from my understanding, that was like towards more the beginning of your career?
I'd say like roughly 2-3 years ago.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Do you feel like that kind of like help you, I guess, like figure out how to work with artists like more professionally?
Yeah, I'd say so. Like that was my first time ever even learning how to track out or learn Pro Tools.
Word.
Or, it was like there was definitely like a learning hurdle in the beginning. Like I struggled to like be quick on like Pro Tools, and like if you're not quick with an artist in the studio, especially as an engineer, like you can either lose the energy, you can like it can be frustrating for the artist where like then you just introduce bad energy that shouldn't be there.
Yeah.
When like if you should be quick, you should be working on like keeping your workflow together and like having a seamless session.
Gotcha. So from that quote unquote we'll call Invasion the internship. From the internship, what are the key things that you taken away that you can say that are like helping Levent2x as of right now?
Well, I would say a lot of like my like understanding how to mix, understanding like what something should sound like, and really having everything sit together.
Word.
And furthermore, being able to translate my ideas, because like there are plenty of ways to do different things at the same time, but like you need to have like a set workflow to be able to achieve them. But like before then, like I didn't know how to structure my beats or mix them, or even that I could make sounds out of a plugin. Like I would just bring in samples and then put that into a sequencer and like upshift them or like pitch them up or pitch them down and like try to make a melody out of that, when I could have been using like a stock piano in FL Studio. But I definitely say there was like a lot I learned. But furthermore, just collaborating with like producers. Everyone has like their own like special sauce, so like it's kind of cool when like you guys like teach each other in a way, and the results like always fire.
I always wonder when collaborating, like as a producer, do you guys ever like kind of like butt heads a little bit? Like, no, like I want, like I know it's supposed to sound like this, but they're like, nah, bump up the BPMs to this. But you're like, nah, this is it. But no, they're like, this is it.
It's never like I've never had like like a collaboration where it's like someone's tight because I made a change or something, or like I actually used to be the person where it's like, damn bro, like why'd you change that? Just leave it as is. Honestly, like I mean, looking back at it now, like I really don't care as much anymore. It's like, oh, if you want to do that, it's like fine. Like we're making beats. We'll probably make like 2 or 3 more after that. But there are some people who take it like personally. For example, like my partner Sav, like he would, every time we collab on like just beats, like he would just take over, like just do way too much to the point where it's like, how am I supposed to hop on this beat? You know, like there's not really anything I could add. This beat's essentially done.
Yeah.
You know, so like that's one thing that I had, but like, you know, him and I have like a workflow that like, you know, we kind of just like churn out beats now. So like that's all good, but no, I wouldn't say so. Usually like if you're working with another producer, like it's all vibes, you know, like kind of just trying to see like what their workflow is like, and like just like how they think.
Yeah.
And like just it's just interesting, I'd say.
Because it's kind of like I'd like to describe all art as pretty much like painting a picture. It's kind of like you got to hand him the brush and fill in like some of the shading, this and that, you know. But it's hard to do when like he's done the whole painting, you know what I mean? It's like damn, man, I'm supposed to add like some little dots to the sun on here, you know what I mean?
Right.
Okay. Who is your favorite artist to work with?
Favorite producer? Probably Sap Beats.
Gotcha. What about artist as a musician, like
artist,
rapper? Or, you know?
Well, I have two. You know, I'd say like I like working with Third a lot, and then my homie T Melly out in New York.
Word.
So like he's pretty fire. Shout out to Team Real T Melly.
He's from New York, or he's like stationed there? He's located
like
there.
He's like an upstate artist in New York.
Word. Accent and all? Does he have the New York flow?
Low key.
Word.
Well, he doesn't make like, he's fire.
Okay.
I'd say like compared to like all the artists out here, he definitely like, you know, stands out for sure. He's crazy. But yeah, and then, you know, Third, you know, like we've like been working together for a while, so, you know, still maintain that relationship. Or
yeah. Lifelong, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, for sure.
I actually want to ask this because it's something I ask myself every day. You know, we definitely see music evolving, especially as like social media makes it seem like it's just speeding up more and more. Like every year is like a different sound, you know?
Right.
And like 2016 we had the SoundCloud era, then like 2017 we had like the Juice WRLD era, then like 2018, you know what I mean? So and so on. And like now we're kind of like in what I like to call digital rap. You know what I mean? Like the Cardi sound. You know, and like I honestly thought that the Cardi stuff was going to be played out before a Whole Lotta Red 2 dropped. But then after that, it's kind of just like all I'm hearing is just like computers having sex in my ears and like 808s behind it. And I'm just like, all right, you know, like what's your opinion on it? Because personally, I'm not the biggest fan of like the digital rap. Like this current age is like my least favorite rap and probably like ever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It has like no meaning to it.
For sure. Yeah, like I definitely say there's like an industry trend shifting more towards like, you know, shorter songs, faster tempo,
most definitely,
more focus on melody compared to like context of the song. You know, like a lot of these songs, like you don't even know like what the artist is saying in some of the bars.
Yeah.
Like, what was that? Shit sounds hard though. You know, like
for real though.
But like I definitely say like Pierre Bourd's production, is like a step in like that direction where like I would say my future projections for what like hip hop music is going to be is like it's going to be a further combination of pop and hip hop, like mainstream hip hop, and then the production is going to be more even like EDM influence, where it's like, you know, more synthesizers as opposed to like, you know, natural instrumentation.
Gotcha. If
that trend catches on, then like, you know, I'll be right, and that's honestly like my type of production, so we'll see.
So like my thing is like it was before like this sound used to be kind of like underground, you know what I mean? But now it's about to be mainstream. So it makes me question what's the next underground wave. Are we going back to like lyrical rap is like the next underground? Like you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or like what's gonna be like the next, you know?
Yeah.
And that's kind of like what to tap into. I'm sure it's like a producer, you're trying to always find like the next sound, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
So what do you think is gonna be the next sound? Or if you were to create the next sound, what do you want it to be?
The next sound, I would definitely say, is going to be like an evolved version of like, you know, like this faster, like Pierre Bourne, like Trippie Redd, Playboy Cardi.
And I can tell too, and I'm just like, I just hope I can keep up.
For sure, yeah. But like, I mean, there's still like a huge market for like more like content, lyrical driven music. You know, like J. Cole. I would say even like, I don't consider the Baby this type of artist, but like, you know, like, well, nah. Actually, nah. But like, you know, still like artists that like still have like, you know, a decent flow and can actually like articulate themselves well. There's
you can really understand them, like, you know what I mean? I feel that because the Baby's real vocal in a way, like you understand every single word. There's no mumble rap, you know.
Yeah, like I've considered like Big Sean like, you know, also in this category.
Oh,
like,
Big Sean,
very clear voice. Like,
yeah.
like you can hear everything he says. For sure.
Okay.
Compared to like Future sounds hard, but it's like, man, that's like
You know what I mean? That's the
that's
dirty
like an
Sprite
angel's
talking.
mumble.
It is though, the Angels mumble.
Yeah.
I love that one. So we are both in the music industry. We are PullUp Visuals / Behind the Red. You know what I mean? We focus on like creative individuals, artists in themselves, and as an up and growing business ourselves, like what kind of advice would you have to us? That's
I
what
would say
get a third person perspective.
Yeah, of course. Like my latest life philosophy, I call it optimalism. So that is just taking a look at pretty much all the steps, like everything that you have to go through for like just to achieve like a certain transaction or like to do something in your life. For example, like if you wake up, would it be better for you to shower and shave at the same time? And what would you need to do to achieve that? Because that would save you time. For example, you don't need to shave afterwards. And like this is just like an outside example, but like, like if that's going to improve your flow and save you time, make you more efficient, do this all around. If you make these 1% improvements, like that will definitely like contribute to like maybe like 100% or greater improvement to like your overall process. But yeah, there's that. Like lately I discovered like Square for like, booking appointments or like taking sessions. And like that's great because it's like I can manage all that from an app and there's like a chip.
So you can book appointments for yourself through Square?
Well,
like you set up like an account and like you're like, yo, someone wants to book Levent2x. You like go on Square and hit them up?
Yeah, for sure.
Shit. Word.
So like there are all these like online tools that you can use to like amplify your brand, make it easier for you to provide your service. And like I would definitely say like, explore every option and try your best, like see what works best for you. Because like I would say like having like a developed digital infrastructure for your brand, will definitely help people take you more seriously and help your brand growth improve and like hopefully expedite it, drastically. But yeah, I definitely say that's really it. And then learning how to account. Like just everyone hates accounting, but like
you need it.
You gotta learn how to keep track of like all your transactions.
Literally,
and
that's the downfall of a lot of businesses.
Exactly,
man.
it's like the tedious stuff.
Literally,
yeah.
The twos and fews add up, to 2 and few thousand.
For sure.
Okay.
You're like, man, what do I do? Like where?
Literally. Yeah. And my last question to you is kind of like some advice for the youth. Well, let's say you're like at home right now. We got a 16-year-old kid in high school wanting to produce, you know what I mean? And like at 16, let's think like I didn't have enough money to buy a MacBook. I didn't have enough money to buy FL Studios. So let's just say I'm 16 and I have nothing but a dream.
Yeah.
What would you say?
I would say, well, I'm a believer in the law of attraction. And I feel like this is how I kind of fell into my position today. Like it's like I manifested the situation. Like, it's just a sequence of like chance occurrences that like, result in something good. So I would say like if you really want to discover this and really are passionate about like music and want to see if what producing would be like, definitely try to find some local artists, try to like collaborate with people, like see if there's someone who maybe even has the resources for you to get started.
Word.
Like the first producer I collaborated with was like an EDM producer. His name is like Jeeves in North Canton. And he gave me like this MIDI keyboard. He was like, dude, like, cause like his setup was like so robust at the time. Like he had like various like, expensive like synthesizers and like expensive speakers. Yeah. And like, he was just like, yeah, take this.
Word.
And I was super grateful for that. I was like, wow, like, now I can like practice piano.
Like your first taste at producing, you know what I mean?
Exactly, yeah. And like, that's like something like that for me was like all I needed to get like addicted to like making beats.
Word.
Or like, doing music. So I would say like if you have the drive, go for it. But like, if you just want to like mess around with it, there are definitely easier ways to get into it. Like, try some free software. But if you really want to go after it, there are no shortcuts. You have to like take every step. You have to really go through all the ups and downs, and then until you figure out how you're going to like really deliver yourself to the world.
Okay. That's some good advice, man. I'm not lying. You got me stuck. I'm like, all right.
Thank you.
Well, you heard it best from Levent2x himself.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for being on our show.
Yeah, for sure.
We're glad to have you.
Thanks for
We'll
having
drop
me.
your contact, your IG in the link in the bio below, along with the Square Seat link. You know, hit my boy up, get your booking in, get that platinum record going. You feel me?
Yes, sir.
So like, subscribe, comment below. Thank you for watching. Until next time.
Yeah.
One small thing. When you edit, you should point at the middle camera, not your camera.
Damn, you're right. I was, because this is looking at me. You know what I'm saying?